I started out with the One Lead record because it was me telling the story of what happened and why I was away. And I had to get it off my chest. You know, and I had to get that off. And I had to let the people know it. Like I said, it was a dope thing. It was inspirational.
Grieving by the son and his brother wants me to get back. Nigga, I ain't the one, I had to cop out. Lawyers flop, my sister gave a drop on me. Then she turned states on me, my bitch was under pressure. You could never fathom the pain that a nigga live with daily. Despite my circumstances, I wouldn't wanna be nobody else. Yeah, I wouldn't wanna be nobody else. Yeah.
City the King. Hey. I came in here early. I got my drip on. I got us some drip cups. Okay, so I wanted to cheers. Cheers, you're with the Goddess of Favor. I'm bringing City the King here. Right, so this is the first time that this happened. We're sitting in Drip Kings. It's the Chico baby, okay? We're dripping in our dreams, dripping in our style.
Absolutely.
And I had the pleasure to be here with City the King.
What up?
All right, Baltimore finest.
Absolutely.
When I first touched down, and I said I was going to be here and I was going to do the B-More Takeover, it would not have been able to happen without you sitting next to me.
For sure.
So tell us what this journey has been like to you. How do you happen to be here and actually be able to tell your story? Give us a little outline of what you've been doing and what brought you here.
Man, been turning up the music scene for like 10 plus years in the town, you know what I'm saying, up in the whole town, you know what I'm saying. Family is, pretty much rooted here, you know what I'm saying. So we grew up, we moved around a lot, so I had the luxury of being able to experience every part of the town, east, west, south, all of the counties, you know what I'm saying. So that's what made me adopt the name, you know what I'm saying, the City of the King. Started out grinding, you know what I'm saying, with a group. For whatever reason, everybody wasn't, as hungry. They had, some family things, and then, they wanted to do what they had to do. So I took on that one by myself and started City of the King. Started ripping it up, turning up the city, you know what I'm saying, laying my groundwork.
2019. One me. You're almost at 500,000. You said 500,000 views on Spotify, 300,000 on YouTube. Then you dropped another one about 2022, AUDEMAR. AUDEMAR is never in blood. Never would touch blood. Correct me. How do I reference that? And what does it mean to you?
Well, AUDEMAR was a record that I did. It was a reference to the AUDEMAR ft.J, which is the luxury watch.
Okay.
So I felt like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, when I did the record, no blood in water. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't mess my joint up. Like, we're getting crazy. Like we're gonna talk that talk. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna have fun.
We're gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stay expensive. We're gonna stay clean. What?
We're in an expensive boutique here. I'm dressed everywhere. Thank you. And this is the lifestyle. I am originally from DMV. I've been up and down the East Coast. One thing I can say about those in Baltimore, you have more of like a New York flair. It's this swag about you. DC is like grimy, I'm getting money. In Baltimore, you want to stay fly. You're definitely fly, right? So is this for the ladies? What is the drip about in Baltimore? How do you think this culture came about? That you guys are laced in designer and that, it becomes a part of your hustle. Is this a goal for you? And tell me, how did you come into the music and what makes you stay? Is it part of the culture or is it something that you strive for?
With me, man, I always like to find things. I come from a hustling background. So, my staple was always to look good and be fly. So, when the designer trend hit, it was only right that, I got it right because, if it's, I'm sorry who I am. With music, man, I come from a long line of musical artistry. My mom used to do sing underground music and stuff like that. So she introduced me to music at an early age. So, and they always had a little bit of rhythm, you know what I'm saying? I always had a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of flow. Battling on the streets, I got my first school just like anybody else. And I was some time after that, my brother lost his life to the streets, and you know, before he lost his life, you know, I delved into it, and he was inspiring me to, you know, keep going, and like what I was doing. So once he lost, I just picked it up and just ran with it. You know what I'm saying? It gave me the platform to express my feelings, and that's what I like to do. My music is feeling evoked, thought provoking. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what I like to do.
When I listen to your music, it's a get it type of attitude. Like you want to be in the winning circle. You should definitely be a part of it. Was this loss a part of you winning? And how long ago this was? And tell me what you were writing about this time.
Well, you know, like I said, it was the first, so it was straight street stuff. It was straight street stuff, and you know, like I said, you know, that was a devastating blow. So, you know, after that, man, you know, it affected me to the point where, you know, I really wanted to be vulnerable. You know, I really wanted to make music that would captivate people's feelings. Not just, you know, a lot of times, you know, people say, "Oh, I rap." I'm not a rapper. Like, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna, you know, get up and just be rapping to people and just, you know, rap on demand. You know, I like to make music that people can feel. Because, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what music is about. Music is about a feeling, you know, capture the moment. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing.
So you're definitely great at this. So is it about allowing others to see your greatness, or is there something deeper? I do hear the drum there with, you know, the loss, and this is someone that's asked you to keep going. So I know there has to be some loyalty there to that craft. But what is the mission behind it?
Well, like I said, man, the mission is to, if I can, with my music, change someone's feeling, or help someone through the day, or someone to be able to relate and say, I know that, I feel that, I've been through that, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. That's my goal. One fan at a time. The lyrical content is definitely something that people should tap into.
When we think about City to King, it seems as though there's a wordplay on your name itself, right? And you said that you've been in all parts of Baltimore, and so you rep for the whole city. How did you come up with this term? Because when I say it, it's almost like speaking life over yourself. When it's saying, I am the city. For sure. I am the king of the city. And so no matter how you say it, it's stamping who you are. And that's where you're coming from lyrically.
For sure.
What made you come up with that?
Well, you know, when I first started off, I was B-City. And, you know, I spent some time away last time ago. And with everything that I've been through, you know what I mean, you know, fighting murder charges and things like that, I felt like only a king can overcome such things and be able to still be able to prevail and be on top. So I feel like the man is only the king. So it was, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm the king of the city. I feel like I'm a king, period. You know, and every male should feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like every female should feel like she's a queen. So it was only the fit, the stamping, and I stand.
I've met you personally before we sat down here to interview. You're definitely quite the king.
Right.
I address all of my Black men. I think it's very important that we speak that over each other. We always have, and that's just what Kingdom Building Spotlight is about. It's putting the spotlight on the kings, putting the spotlight on the queens, so that we recognize who we are. When you have one who already knows, it's something special. For sure. It's something special. You spoke about the murder charges. When you came out in 2019, that was the first time that I had heard or seen your music, and that was like the biggest bangers that you had. There was a pause. There was a sit back. Was this written while you were away, and could you talk about your experience while you were away and what it did to, or how it impacted your music?
Yeah, when I was away, like I said, I was fighting the military, so music was nowhere near my mind.
Okay.
Like getting back to my kids, getting back to my family, and doing the things that I love, that was in the forefront. So I didn't touch, anything musically while I was locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
A guy like me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little intellectually inclined. So while I was in there, I was in the law. I was studying law. I was trying to find loopholes and ways to get back out here. As you see, I'm here.
You're here.
That was my thing, man. To get back here. When I came home, I gave myself some time to absorb the actual music scene and see what was going on, because I like to adapt. A lot of people, I feel personally, lack the ability to adapt and adjust. And when I came home, I took some time away and I adjusted. And I started out with the One Me record because it was me telling the story of what happened and why I was away. And I had to get it off my chest. I had to get that off. I had to let the people know it. Like I said, it was a dope thing. It was inspirational. So,
I find that amazing. A lot of times people go into this sale and it's, if I could do it behind here, if I could do it, it's their last standing. You put up family, you put up your children. So we're here in Juneteenth. Yesterday was Father's Day. What did yesterday look like to you? What did it feel like being free here?
Right.
Being able to do that and being able to meet your charges.
Man, it's amazing. It was amazing because I was in a situation where I was with lifers, guys who will never see the streets again.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had a few of them, and they sat down with me and they let me know, man, like, you got a chance to get back out there. Like,
It was a brotherhood.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, what I'm saying, they inspire you. And, some of them, they don't want you to get back out there.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the OGs, and that's why I ran with a lot of OGs. I didn't do a lot of knucklehead stuff. You know what I'm saying? My mission was to get back to my family, like you said. So, I focused on that and took that in stride, and then came home, man, and it was beautiful just being able to hold my kids and see my kids and be able to be a father. A lot of times, when kids lack that male presence, because I'm all proud of it. I didn't need my dad until I was 17 years of age. And that's what pretty much thrust me into the streets, because I was looking for love, from other males, looking for love from homeboys, et cetera, you know what I mean? And that's what pretty much led me to the path of destruction for me.
The big homie.
Yeah.
And this is what the big homie is in the hood.
Yeah.
It's really a father figure.
Yeah, for sure. For those who don't have it, that's what it is. And it's unfortunate, you have some big homies who mislead and they take their position and they abuse it. Mm-hmm. And they run, guys into a path of destruction. So,
do you think you were spared? And if we could go spiritually, we can.
Yeah, for sure.
But what do you think is special about you? That, because you could definitely be not City the King, but the angry king.
I think what's special about me is I have the street experience, right? And I've also had the school experience. I've been fortunate enough to graduate with a degree from Pratt University in psychological rehabilitation. So with that being said, I always had a plan and a mission. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So, just striving and being able to see that walk through two different paths, and understanding that you know, a nigga want them different, a nigga want them more. You know what I mean? Sorry for the N word. You know what I mean? I don't want us to get censored out. But yeah, you know, so that made me, you know what I mean, compelled in the subject.
So you met your dad at 17. I have to imagine that there was a strong queen by your side. Is that the case? Or when I'm speaking about a queen, I'm talking about a motherhood, a grandmother.
For sure.
In most cases, for us that's inside of our age range, it's the grandmother figure.
Right.
Especially with Baltimore, heavy drugs that's ran through the city, plenty of homes, families that has been broken down. What was your anchor?
My mom's.
Your
My
mom.
mom's. She was a single mother, and she was a single mother of 5. And man, just seeing her do everything to make sure that we was something. You know what I'm saying? She was big on respect. Even though she delved into drugs and she fought drugs for a great deal of her life, she always inspired us to be better and to be great. And you know, that's a lot where my king come from. You know what I mean? She pretty much stabled in me to pretty much strive and just watching her, man. You know, women are so incredible. That's why my level of respect for women is infinite. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, regardless of whatever the situation is, they're so instrumental in a man. You know what I mean? Of course, another man can teach a man how to be a man, but a woman brings certain elements to nurture and love. You know what I'm saying? The guidance, the sternness. And my mom did that. She played both of the roles, and she inspired me tremendously.
My dad said to me, "Happy Father's Day."
Yeah.
And I almost didn't accept it,
Right.
because I want the kings in our life. I want our Black men to be held responsible. And I can't say that I'm the type of person that always look at the good. So I'm not looking at the bad in you. I'm looking at the good that you have. And so what good have you played a part in? And I can say that my children's father had played a part. And it was kind of, but he mentioned the same qualities that you just mentioned about his mom that he sees in me.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to take for us as a community to get back together, that we see these things in each other?
Honestly?
Yes, honestly.
I think that it's too far gone. I think it's too far gone, sadly, because with the advent of social media, a lot of us, and then, you know, when I speak about anything, you know, I always like to tell people it's for my ears first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then it's for the people. So I'm always speaking to myself first, and then I'm speaking to the people. So I'm not speaking down or speaking to anybody else, but at the end of the day, the industry, social media, it is pretty much brainwashing and dictating the wave of the future. So with that being said, a lot of kids are lost because they're chasing something that they'll never catch.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, they'll never catch it. You know what I mean? Whether it's weed smoking, OnlyFans, trying to keep up with this, trying to keep up with that. Thus is why we have so many young kids and young guys committing heinous crimes and finding themselves in situations where they'll never be home again.
So do you think there's a level of really just not loving ourselves inside of the community?
I don't think it's too much of
I mean, when you bring up social media,
I mean,
we're constantly underneath of this microscope. We're constantly, you know, with everyone who doesn't know us has their opinion. And I always say, if you can't love yourself, then how can you love someone else?
I mean, let's keep it a whole bit.
Okay.
Right? It's to the point now where people are selling themselves for a blue thumbs up, a red heart, right? And some type of notification and notoriety, right? So with that being said, is that's what they're chasing, right? It's like how many followers you got, how many likes you got, and it's even to the point where I've had meetings in LA, in New York, with music execs and people of power, and that's the first thing we come up with. What is your following like? Mm-hmm. Right?
Listen. I've done it.
Yeah, for sure.
We just had a show with Tay Cobain. They just came out. Shout out, yes.
Shout out to Tay.
Put the biggest smile on my face that night.
For sure. Shout out to
Awesome character. We had never known it with the status that he has reached, with the Grammy, with Nicki Minaj, was the most humble man inside of the building. Shout out to him.
For sure.
But when we were looking at artists and when we would taking in consideration who could fill a club, that's the first thing we went to. We went back to their following. What are they doing? But sitting down and sitting with you completely changed my mind. It also changed my mind when I thought about the outturn of the event and then what I was doing, because when I first came in with Kingdom Building Spotlight, I was going after the Black businesses. I wanted to put all of my people on. I had this dream that I was just gonna, like, everybody was gonna be knocking at my door because I was gonna be changing lives, right? And then when you start to stress about the numbers, my content also folded. And so I had to double down and say, I'm going back and I have to just trust this process. How are you trusting your process?
Like I said, man, one fan at a time. Me personally, I have social media presence.
And you're doing good. So I'm thinking, look good. Okay, so.
Let me touch on something real quick.
Okay.
Right? For everything that I've been doing, it's very unfortunate that my city isn't behind me as much as I want. Right? And it's sad because they have a saying around here, family members. And it's true, right? It's something that I've spoken to OGs and be like, this existed way back when. So we got to figure out how to overcome that part of the game. But for the most part, man, like the love I get is across the world.
I was gonna say, because you have Trina, you have Jadakiss. You have people who's already made it that's stamping you, that's putting out drops. I haven't seen anything come from the city. But who can do it from the city when you compare them to them, right? It's going to be you putting others on. That's a heavy crown to hold, King.
Yeah, for sure. You see my shoulders really broad, you know what I'm saying? You understand me? They broad, so, I can hold that, I shoulder that. For the most part, man, with me, man, it's about, like I said, capturing more families.
Absolutely. Everyone who has, that we would consider made it, has left the city. They ran down south to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. It is Juneteenth. We talk about being free. I started it, I was originally from the DMV. However, I've been in Florida for 10 years. I'm still down south now. I'm coming back home. I love coming back home.
How's that sound?
Oh, man. I miss Florida. I went to Jacksonville first. I spent like 5 years in Jacksonville, and then I did Daytona Beach. Okay. I wanted to go further south, but we just kept getting hurricanes. And then my mom, my grandmother, everyone started getting those, so I came halfway back. So around the Greensboro, Danville area is where I'm at now. Okay. So I can slide and come back. So I'm here. I'm here, and that's why I said I cannot leave this town before seeing you, right? But going south, and today being Juneteenth, let me get your feelings on how you feel about this, because I never even, here in North, there's a different coalition, there's a different way that races, people of color, and those of not that deal with each other. When I went into Florida, like the people were not afraid. I mean, here when I left, you would walk down the sidewalk, people would move, people would hold the doors. There was a kind of a sense that you didn't know when, and not using that term to degrade anyone, but when a nigga would go crazy, like you know, there would be some cautions. When I went to Florida, I didn't see the fear. Then when I got into Danville, it's like nobody knew that we were actually free. So here we're celebrating Juneteenth. Do you think that is something that's actually happening here in Baltimore where people don't understand that we all can make it, that there's enough money for us, that we're stronger in numbers instead of one person ruling, or there has to be this competition? This, like the block from block can't come together and build.
I mean,
I hope I made that clear. I know that was a lot.
Listen, I like to be candid about stuff, man. You know, I don't sugarcoat, but Juneteenth, it's a piece. It's something to quiet us, something they give us to make us feel a certain type of way. Make no mistake about it. Racism is so bad. And I think until the end of time, that's something we always fight. It's a continuous battle. Because what we got to understand is racism isn't something that just fell out of the sky. It's something that's been embedded in generation upon generation upon generation. So those grandfathers have taught their children. When you come from situations where our ancestors were slaves and they were looked at upon as nothing, there were children that watched their grandparents, their ancestors, treat us a certain type of way. So that's something that we won't always have to fight for. Unfortunately, I don't think it's something that will ever cease. But it's definitely getting better. It's definitely getting better. It's something definitely to be proud of.
Well, you're a father,
For sure.
so I have to expect that the knowledge that you're providing here to this audience,
For sure.
that your kids, they are just...
I give it to them. No cut. Because at the end of the day, they have to live in this world.
Is this where it starts, with just one of us passing that down to the generation? Where do we start?
I mean, it definitely starts at home. But the problem with that is when you're in an environment, in a home where people don't have the knowledge to expound or to educate, then it becomes lackluster, it becomes lost. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, it falls upon deaf ears. It breaks my heart when I see young black men continuously killing them, continuously doing things that's going to push them further away from being successful.
Some would say that it's not just black men killing black men, that this happens in white neighborhoods and white people kill white people because they live in the same community. So it's not this big of a deal. This was a big thing that came out with Black Lives Matter. Is that true or is it not true? Or we are killing each other at alarming rates for no reason, with no gain? And what would you say, being from Baltimore, is the number one reason for that?
Black lives matter, all lives matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk in terms of when you trying to fix a problem, you have to go to the root of the problem. You can't start at the surface and then think that you're gonna have a major impact. People, I think, for the most part, have to get dealt with from the root, and that's understanding what's going on and valuing one another. The advent of displaying black hatred upon one another is something that was embedded in us from back when. When you want to talk about the migration of Black people to this land, it was with the help of other Black people, right?
Or is it just a story?
No.
Absolutely,
Look at
that's true.
listen. Look at the hatred that we display upon one another. Like, the proof is in the pudding.
Is it the Black people who are actually believing that, or have failed to come to the system stating that it's us? Or do you believe that Black people traveled all around the world and were here in America before anyone?
I mean, whatever the situation may be, I'm not a historian.
But this is where is where we are.
Yeah, I'm not a historian, but what I can see is, and I tell a lot of people that I speak to, whomever came up with the idea to control the Black mind to make them feel a certain type of way towards their own was a genius.
They won.
Was a genius.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at it, generation after generation after generation, I've been in here in the city all my life, and I've watched numerous of guys who try to come up out the mud, hustling or whatever, in their own kind, and just jealous of one another. As soon as one individual start making progress and becoming successful or getting money or whatever have you have guys who come along, rob them, kill them. This is the same.
Because they don't feel that there is enough for more than one. No, it's just jealousy. Just jealousy.
You know what I'm saying? I've ran with guys, right? That we was in some street shit, and I made sure we always eat.
I'm that type of person.
And they still hate it.
I honestly can say I don't understand.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is really weird.
It's weird as fuck because
I believe that it's enough for all of us.
Yep.
And then with all of us together, then we can get way more.
Guys, and this is city to city. Mm-hmm. I'm quite sure that you've done interviews or this can be played in any city, and everybody can attest to the same thing. Once you get there, guys start seeing you envious, and they be the closest to you.
So, Juneteenth, we are here.
For sure.
Speaking on facts, speaking of what we can do with numbers, and speaking about what real freedom looks like. Real freedom, you have to be free from the hatred. You really have to look at your brother like your brother. That's the only way that we're going to come together as a community. And you say that the doubt is there. It's going to take. Do you feel like we're progressing?
Yeah, I think there's progression. I definitely feel like there's progression. But like I said, when you look at things like social media, you can put up any situation. You can put up a abusive situation. You can put up any situation. You can put up any situation where guys are targeted because of their success, and someone feels the need, and it's your own comment to contribute to the world. And that's the sad part. It's the sad part.
Let's bring us back full circle. That was just God gifted, right? You were able to come home to your family. You dropped AUDEMAR. We're here in 2030. Everyone is waiting for the new drop. And then, King, can I ask you this? The knowledge the Jews that you have provided us with today, are we going to be able to hear this in your music? Is your music actually growing from the place that you were, that, kind of got you in that situation? And congrats on that, being back, because I feel like we definitely need you in the streets of Baltimore. We definitely need fathers like you. We definitely need a figure to show those who are coming up how this actually looks, how you're actually able to be successful. What can we expect from you and what's going to be new? Because I'm ready for new music. And with that, I want you to address that question. Then I want to ask you, with the juice that you just dropped, is it hard to bring that to the music? Do you feel like we're ready to hear that?
Well, the new music is on the way. I got 3 albums ready lined up to go. In the meantime, in between time, we got the Yeah record out. We got Baltimore's out. You know, you can go stream that. They start shooting videos for that. My music is always thought-provoking. It always has a message. I can't do it all.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you know, sometimes you have to, when you have the ability to reach certain people, you have to find a way to connect. That's always been my thing. It's always a message. It's always jewels, like you said. It's always there in music. So currently, rock and roll.
And and not to cut you off, you're filming it.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So you're picking up some different crafts.
Sure.
Tell us about that.
For sure. I shot a movie before ft.J a couple years before I moved down. We finished it up once I came home. Since I've been home, I'm working the radio, it's the affiliated movie. It's pretty dope. It's going to be crazy. It's a lot of political stuff in that. Street. It has so many different elements. I play a dope character, and I think we did pretty good. She's wrapping up now, so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, the film is called Affiliated. Yeah, man. Shout out to Baby, shout out to Teresa, shout out to the cast. You know what I'm saying? You shooting and joining with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, man. Like I said, man, it's always about trying to reach one individual. I don't care about the masses. Just give me one individual that I can captivate and send a message to and hopefully have an impact.
My brother Jamal told me, I was just telling him that I was dipping into this type of industry when it came to film. And he said that if you could get 30 people in each city, people think that for you, you have 500,000 views. You've already done that.
Yeah.
You're saying just one person. I just want to touch one person like
Appreciate it.
anything else that you got going on in business. How are you able to support yourself and continue on with your dreams and make this possible? Because this is not easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Not to be where you are. What would be your recommendation, or what could you share with someone who has the same ideas or want to get out? Something that would change life, because what you're doing right now is life changing to a Black young man.
Like I said, man, the grind is real. Always strive. Like I said, when I came home, I started a trucking company. I have a degree. So it's always trying to reinvent yourself, trying to get better, trying to do better. Because at the end of the day, the street shit is cool, but you have to be able to do something on the mainstream corporate level to make yourself impactful as an entrepreneur. You know, that's what I push. I'll push all day, every day, entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Learn a craft, learn a business, open your business, try to start your own thing, and be your own boss. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people throw around the term like, you know what I'm saying, I'm a boss. You're not a boss until, you know what I mean, you pretty much have a payroll, or when you have your own company, you dealing with losses, and you dealing with paying everybody else before you pay yourself. That's something that you want to leave to your kids, you know what I'm saying, to your family. So that's the ultimate goal, entrepreneurship.
That's what wealth looks like.
Yeah, even
it's leaving it behind for generations.
And even with your music, you know, a lot of guys come into the game and they don't know the business. I'm the business. You know what I'm saying? People will tell you all the time, talent is like 10% of the business. You can rap your ass off. You can have the illest lines, the illest bars. But if you don't have your business someplace and know what you're getting yourself into, then it's not gonna be yours. So entrepreneurship is definitely something that I would project to the people to delve into.
City the King. City the King.
City King.
Okay. This has been breathtaking, refreshing,
For sure.
and I think it's fit for Juneteenth.
I think so too.
I think our people needed to hear this.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time that they've heard it just like this.
It's the goddess, man, lock in, you know what I'm saying? Turn the lights up, turn the views up. You're gonna get ill content that it's gonna captivate you and propel you into leadership, into entrepreneurship, into winning, man. It's just what you gotta be. If you ain't here, you lost.
You lost.
You lost.
You're definitely losing. If you ever watched this one, tap the like button, hit it up, give me them thumbs up, share it to someone, share it to the 12-year-old that is rapping in the backseat of your car, that has their studio inside of the closet. Show them what a real kings look like. Like you said, it's 10% talent. You need that entrepreneurship. Get that up, support your community. And is there anything else that we missed out on? I want to make sure that we grab it. Anything we should be?
I think we did pretty good. I think City came on anything and everything. Lock into the music. Like I said, I got 3 albums ready to go. Be ready. It's coming. We constantly working. If you need me, looking for me, book me, download me, stream me. The Real City King Gmail, hit me. Chico the Don, hit him. That's my partner. You know what I'm saying? We in the Drip King.
We're here in the Drip King shop. I'm dripping. Listen, we got our cups.
Show up, man. Show up, man.
Yes.
And support. You know what I'm saying? What Black business looks like.
This is what Black business look like. And by the way, I'm going to be shouting these guys out because I have not finished. I came in here and I was shopping. I had to set up, but I was ready to shop. I was ready to shop.
Y'all see it?
Yes.
She look a little spicy. Right?
Yes, Chino got me right. All right, so we'll hear from you guys soon. Peace.